Hey. Hey, what is up, my dudes? It is Ash, and today I am here with my January book wrap-up. In 2 days, you will see my film wrap-up, film and TV show wrap-up, but right now, we are talking about the books, the things that don't rot your brains. And we are also going to be talking about the books that I will be reading in February. Okay, so it is the 1st of February today. It's a little bit late, but I wanted to finish one of the books on my list last night, so I was like, I don't have time. Let's do this thing. Finished it at 1 a.m., but I'm still counting it because I didn't go to sleep yet. Alright, first book that I'm going to talk about is Pet Sematary by Stephen King. I gave this, I believe, a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I finished it at the beginning of the month, read it mostly through December, but I finished it like the first week of January. This was a fun book. We'll talk about the good. I love Norma Crandall. I had no idea she even existed, and if they make another movie or TV show, potentially, please have her in it. I also really liked the descriptors. Obviously I don't really want to know what the inside of a brain looks like, but I found out and that was awesome. Stephen King has this way with words that I think is just really interesting when he's not talking about nipples, and it's just like insane how descriptive he can be. Like that's one thing my weakness in writing is my describing. I can't speak. But yeah, like, I just think it's really interesting, and I love reading Stephen King books for that purpose, and also to get freaked out. Once we hit, that kind of halfway point, the huge, event that happens, I thought it was very fast-paced and really good. The bad of this book is that before that big event happens, which is about halfway through, nothing really happens. This is one of his shorter novels, and so I kind of thought that it would be more compact, but obviously it's not. There's just a lot of setup, a lot of exposition, and sometimes that can be a strength, but sometimes it can be a weakness, and I think that for this book, the first half of it was kind of weak. I also, as I said previously, he talks a lot about nipples, he talks a lot about, just in general women, and I think that this man should not write women ever in his life, and I'm not a huge fan of him talking about nipples every 2 pages, so if he could maybe stop doing that, that would be great. But other than that, I thought it was a fun read. I watched the movie, love the movie, will always love the movie, and yeah, if you want to get started on Stephen King, I definitely think that this is where you should start. So and my house is haunted, so that's great. Alright, so that was that book. Next up is The Diviners by Livin' Bray. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Would have been a 5, but Evie O'Neill annoys me so much sometimes, and I just can't give it 5 stars. The good about this book, the story was great. If I was not a horror freak, I'm sure that this would have scared me. It was honestly terrifying, like conceptually it was terrifying, and I think that if you kind of want to get more into horror, you should definitely go with this book. I thought it was really good. Oh, I didn't tell you the story. Pet Sematary is about a pet cemetery. The Diviners is about a girl named Evie O'Neill who moves to New York. She has this power where if she touches an object, it can give her the information on people, and then it's also about other people. There's a guy named Memphis who used to be able to heal people. There is someone named Sam Lloyd who's amazing, Jericho, who I hate, Mabel, and Will, who is Evie's uncle. So that's basically the plot. There is a huge murder, and Evie's uncle owns the museum, like the occult museum, so he is brought in on the murder, and Evie tags along and tries to help out with it. And yeah, so I genuinely really enjoyed this book. I have been putting it off for a very long time because the series, there are 3 books in the series, each one longer than the last, but I'm really glad I finally gave this a shot. I am so happy with it. But yeah, like the good, like I said, I thought that the story was really interesting, really well done. If it wasn't a series, this would be a great just standalone novel, but I'm really glad that it is a series. I'm in love with Sam Lloyd. I want him to be my best friend. Yeah, and that's the good. The bad, honestly, Jericho needs to get out. Evie, I love her character. I love her as a character, but honestly, there were some points, like especially when she was talking to the reporters, when her uncle specifically asked her not to, I was like, there's a reason that you are in New York, and it's because you messed up where you lived before, so why are we doing that again? And it just kind of annoyed me, but obviously she's a flawed main character, and I think that that's really, really cool. I love flawed main characters, so yeah, I was very, very happy with this book overall. Yeah, 4.5 out of 5 stars. Really, really great. The next book that I read was my first reread of the year, everyone, I'm doing it! And it was The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. If you don't know what this book is about, it is about a man named Nick who moves in next to a man named Gatsby. And Gatsby throws all of these elaborate parties, and Nick finally gets invited to one, and he just kind of like falls in with this crowd of people who he wouldn't normally probably have fallen into, and he becomes best friends with Jay Gatsby. It is a really stellar book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, obviously. I didn't think I wouldn't. And yeah, the good, obviously the writing style is great, the story is great, the characters are all fleshed out and really great. I'm just gonna keep saying great. It's only 7 chapters long, but like the fact that you get all of this backstory, but then it's also set in the present day, like, I don't know, really present day 20s. I think it was really, really good. The bad about the book made me cry. And that's it. 5 out of 5 stars. If you haven't read The Great Gatsby yet, were you even in high school? Read the book. The next book that I read was Layer of Dreams by Libba Bray, another 4.5 out of 5 stars. This is the sequel to The Diviner, so I can't talk very much about it, but it's really great. You get to follow a few more, like, new characters as they're coming up. We get to kind of have a look into some of the side characters in The Diviners. They become more main characters, such as Henry, who I love, and a girl named Ling. Ling, I love her. The good, another great story. I'm very, very happy with it. The bad, Jericho is still around and I don't know why. Evie is still making mistakes, and like I said, I love that about her character, but sometimes it grates on me. I think that's pretty much it. This is a great book series. Read it. Please read it. But yeah, 4.5 out of 5 stars. That's all I can really say about this book. The next book that I read was The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. I don't even know what this book is about. It was 69 pages. Nice. And what to say about it? I have no idea. It's boring and I don't like it. I literally gave it 1 star. I read it because the new season of The Haunting of Hill House is called The Haunting of Bly Manor, and it is based off of this short story. And I read The Haunting of Hill House after I watched the show, and it kind of ruined the book for me. I think the show is gonna be great. They have nothing to work with. Fingers crossed. I have nothing else to say about this book. I have no idea what happened in it. I read it in a day. It was not good. And the next book that I read was The Shining by Stephen King. 4.5 out of 5 stars. What? Ashley gave more than 3.5 stars to a Stephen King novel? I know. This book is about a man named Jack Torrance and his wife Wendy, and his son Danny, and they are caretakers of the Overlook Hotel, which is a famous hotel. And they are caretakers of the hotel over the winter months when the hotel is shut down, and they just kind of start going a little bit crazy. Danny has this thing called I literally can't speak. Saliva's not getting in there. Danny has this thing called The Shining. Roll credits. Where he is able to, like, read people's thoughts. It's a really weird thing. I don't know. It's probably explained more in the sequel. I have no idea. But this was a really interesting book. The good of this book, The writing style was great. The story actually, like, genuinely freaked me out. I never get scared by books, and this one actually really scared me. I went to the bathroom when I was at work, and I got freaked out because I felt like someone was going to attack me whilst in the bathroom. So yeah, like this book genuinely, like, scared me. And I mean, that's a feat for just fiction in general to freak me out. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I thought Jack was, I mean, like, just seeing his process, because I've watched the movie before, but seeing the process of him actually going insane was really, really cool. The bad of this book, nipples again. Just nipples. Nipples. Also, Stephen King is famous for writing self-inserts, and Jack Torrance was just another one of those. I mean, sure, fine, whatever, write what you know, but don't make your main character a writer every single time. I don't know. Just an idea. Mr. King, if you would like to speak to me, my number is... Last book that I read this month. Aha! Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I finished it last night. I was tabbing it and then I forgot my tabs at work. So I need to actually go in and tab more of it. But Six of Crows! This is my second reread of the year, which we're getting them down. Like, I'm actually gonna reread these books this year. I'm very proud of myself. If you don't know what this book is about, it's about 6 dangerous outcasts and then one impossible heist. As it says on the tagline, there are 6 characters: Kaz Brucker, Inej Gaffa, Jesper Fahey, Nina Zenik, I'm gonna do this, Wyland Van Eck, and Matthias Helvar. I learned all their last names! I'm so proud of myself. I literally only knew, I only knew Kaz's, like, when I went into this book. But yeah, it's about those 6 outcasts, and they have to break into the most secure prison in all of the countries that they live in. I can't remember. The festival was called Hrinkala. What was the name of the... Yeah, I can't remember. I remembered all their last names, though, and that's what matters. Anyway, yeah, so they have to break into that ice court. It has been built to withstand an onslaught of armies, assassins, Grisha, and spies. When Inej said as much to Kaz, he simply replied, "But it hasn't been built to keep us out." Boom. I don't know, it's a really great book. If you haven't read the Six of Crows duology, please do. You don't have to read the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I haven't, and I still understand what's going on. Obviously, if you want to know more about the world, I am aware that the Grisha trilogy is more world-buildy, so you kind of figure out exactly where they are in this. But for me, just jumping into it, like, I was fine. But yeah, the good about this book, I love Leigh Bardugo's writing style. I love how she, like, can so easily transition from being in the present day to, like, showing flashbacks. It's flawless. And I realized that, like, when I'm getting goosebumps. Oh my goodness. I realized that when I was reading this the second time, like, I found it so interesting how she could just weave all of these intricate story details together in one chapter. Like, amazing. I also love all of the characters. Matthias obviously annoys me, but I love him as well. But yeah, like, I don't know. People need to stop hurting my sweet baby sunshine Wyland. Please? Please. The bad? I don't know. I don't have anything. It's so good. It's such a good, oh, it's so good. Anyway, yeah, I think I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I was very late when I finished, but I believe I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. So, awesome. I'm so glad I still like this book. I'm so glad. Okay, so now we are just gonna go very, very quickly through all of the books that I want to read for February. Let's do this thing. Let's go! We're not being very fast. Okay, let's go. The first book is Crooked Kingdom, which is the second book in the Six of Crows duology. I have tabs in here. I will be taking them out and replacing them with nicer ones because I hate them. This is the second book in the duology, so I can't say much about it, so I'm not going to. Very excited, jumping into this today. Woo! The next book is Be More Chill by Ned Vizzini. I love the musical. The musical is my favorite thing in the entire world. So, I want to read the book. I've heard it is not a whole lot like the musical, but that is perfectly fine. I've also heard that Michael is awful in this, which is not okay. I love him. But I'm very, now a Broadway musical. I had to stop myself from getting the Broadway cover when I was at Barnes & Noble because I did not have that much money. But yes, I'm excited to finally actually read this. Woo! The next book is Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. This, I don't know, I don't have any idea what this is about. I just know that Kat from Paperback Dreams has read it and likes it a lot. I think. From what I recall. So I'm gonna read this because I trust her. Trust her judgment. The next book is Dr. Sleep by Mr. Stephen King. This is the sequel to The Shining. I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. I'm not excited. But I have not watched the movie, so I'm going to read this, and then hopefully the movie will be out to rent, so me and my mom can watch the movie. Because we were very excited to go to it in theaters, and then it wasn't in a town that we could get to. So, you know, perks of living in the Midwest. Small town Midwest. You don't get horror movies. You get Jesus movies. That's not, okay. The next book that I want to read is not technically a book, like it is, but it's not, it's a play. It's a screenplay. It's the script book for Good Omens. It's the quite nice and fairly accurate Good Omens script book. I am in love with Good Omens. I'll talk about it in my other video that I'm filming right after this one. But Good Omens is a great show. I have not read the actual book, but I want to read the screenplay because I just really want to see more interactions between Aziraphale and Crowley and like the stage directions and how I'm thinking dumb, and how they actually like how they were directed to play the characters because I found it quite interesting. Ineffable Husbands. Yeah. The last book I don't actually have yet, but I finally ordered it, and it is Before the Devil Breaks You by Libba Bray. It is the third book in the Diviners Trilogy series. The fourth book also comes out this month, but I do not have money to buy it. So, if someone could send me a free copy of King of Crows once it comes out, that would be great, but if you can't, I completely understand. I'll be fine. But yeah, that is it. That is the end of my wrap up and TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. You do you. I can't control your actions. And I will see you on Thursday. If you want, tell me what books you read this last month and tell me which ones you want to read this month. What are you excited about? Let me know. Let's have a chat. Let's have a conversation. Let's do it. But all right, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!